Nothing ever changes, says King Solomon in the Bible. Now, how true is that? It's very true. He says something along the lines of, King Solomon says something along the lines of, what was done in the old times will be done in the new times, meaning everything is pretty much recycled. So every generation, there's circumstances that don't seem to change, right? So there's always poverty in the world. There's always diseases, sickness. There's always the rich guys. Well, there's poverty, right? There's poor people. There's always, it's so many. It's basically it's the same issues that we see every generation, and it's crazy because with the technological advances in our modern society, there's so many advances, right? Seemingly, right? But it's still the same circumstances, still the same stuff. So I believe that's true, that nothing ever really changes. He says that things are recycled, and the people of the past generation, once they die out, the new generation comes in, and the people of the new generation replaces the people of the old generation. So just like I said, there's always rich guys. We're always going to have rich guys in the world. So within 50 years, there's going to be a group of, newer guys coming in that will fit that category. Well, there's going to be people that are poor. There's going to be people with illnesses, sickness, all types of different tragedies occurring. It's just the same stuff that happens over and over and over again. And you ask, why do these problems persist? Well, the Bible does let us know that we live in a fallen world. When you ask some people this, they'll say, no, we don't live in a fallen world. Like I said, because of all the technological advances, we don't live in one. But you have to open up your eyes. Yes, we do live in one. Yes, the hell we do. We're in the middle of a pandemic right now. You're telling me that this world is not fallen? It's a highly flawed world? You're telling me that's not the case? Many people died this year because of that pandemic. Many people lost jobs. The economy crashed. And you're telling me this is not a fallen world? I mean, you're blinded. There's sex trafficking victims, which include children. There are people living in extreme poverty. There are people in the hospitals with different sicknesses. They're dealing with cancer. There's people that have lost loved ones this year, right? Whether it's a spouse, a child. Okay, people lose people all the time. Tragedies happen all the damn time. And you're telling me this is not a fallen world? You're telling me it's not a fallen world? That's the reason why these problems persist, because we live in a fallen world. And what does the Bible let us know? What does the Bible let us know? The book of Genesis, right? Before the world was actually fallen, there was two people that were in the world, and their names were Adam and Eve. And remember, they were in that garden, and they had a relationship with God. They were able to hear God. They were able to allow God to guide them. Okay, they heard God. And that actually ended when they were tempted by the enemy to be led astray from God. And that's what we see in our society, right? Most people do not know God. Most people, something else, they're distracted by something else. Something else has their attention, but it's not God. Most people do not have a relationship with God. Most people, they think they know it all, you know? They just think that they know it all. They know it all. But in the New Testament, it says that Jesus came here to save us from our sins, right? God sent out his son to give us, to redeem us from our sins and to give us a second chance, to reconcile to God. And I can testify of that. This whole year has been a great year for me. Yeah, it was some hardships because I had some lessons to learn. But at the same time, I got close to God this year. I built my relationship with God this year. That's why I was completely unaffected by what was happening in the world. Like, I was completely unaffected by it. Like, I was good. I was good because I was with God all along. Like, I didn't even know that all of that was happening. Like, that all this stuff that was happening this year because as a result of the pandemic. I heard it from other people. And I'm just like, wow, that's how far gone I was from the world. Like, I was fully with God. I was fully with him. That's how far gone I was. Like, I had to hear it from other people that do not have relationships with God, that do not know God. They're listening to the news. They're listening to the media. Something else. Their attention is elsewhere. It's elsewhere. But I didn't know that was happening until I heard people say it. So, yeah, that's why these problems will always persist. Will always persist because people just think they know it all. They think they know it all and that there is no God. I mean, even people in the medical field died. I heard, these doctors died. I mean, but these are the people that people go to for advice and to heal them and to cure them. So it's like, I didn't have to go to any doctor. I haven't been to the doctor in years. Like, I haven't visited any doctors in years. I went outside without the mask multiple times. Multiple times. I went on the subway, on the train. I went there, even though they were saying that, even though they were saying that that's the worst place to go in New York, is to be on the train because there were so many people that they said like it was like just infested with the corona, like the train stations, and I was hearing stuff like that. But I went on a train, nothing happened. I went in the stores, nothing happened. I was able to walk around freely. So, yeah, I literally heard that about the train situation. That I don't remember the exact story, but I read a news article on it. Like, it was like, I don't know if there was people that, there are people that caught the corona while being on the train in New York. I don't know. But it was something like that. I'm just like, really? And I really went out on the train and nothing happened. Like, so. And that's another thing that Jesus does for us, and he actually let me know, is that he sets us free from disease and all those terrible stuff that happens in this world. Like, he actually sets us free from it. So Jesus was my mask. He was my mask. It was just such a telling year. I learned so much this year. It's the perfect year to be saved. This was the perfect year. Like, it gets no better than 2020. You just see how brainwashed and lost people really are. It was like a social experiment for me. Like, the Bible is so true. Like, yeah. This is a year that I'll always remember. My spiritual awakening year. Seriously. It's like now I understand who I am in the Lord. I now understand the authority I have. Like, I don't have to answer to any man. It's all about salvation. I want people to get to my point where it's like, you feel like you're on top, because you are. You don't have to answer to anyone. Okay, I'm going to end this here.